And how big is your business currently, Chris, in terms of clients?
I've written this down because I thought you'd ask that. So I started with 60. I bought a split from Simon of 50 and I had a few remaining for Cannington. And from there I've grown to about 97 regulars.
Yes, already.
And on the books, I've got about 162 that I've serviced. So let's say out of that 162, they've got all my details. So when they need something, they generally call me gutters or landscape or planting and stuff like that.
So Chris from WA, Jim's Mowing Cannington, you've been with us for a couple of months. You sent a great email to Jim, and Jim normally forwards me on these success stories and to have a chat and interview franchisees. So you've been going with us for 2 months. So how did you first of all get involved with Jim's Mowing?
Jim's Mowing, well, it's always been something that's floated around in the back of my head, wanting to do for a good 10 years now. And I sort of got to a point with my work that I probably couldn't go as far as what I'd like to. And it just seemed I was a very hands-on person anyway. So it seemed this was a great fit. I enjoyed the outdoors. I've got quite a big property at home, which I enjoy spending time out. And I thought, well, if I do that, I'm getting 2 bits of life, which are going to be fantastic. So I was just straight into gyms and it was a no-brainer for me. The transition's been fantastic.
Yeah, and how did you find the training? You would have come over to Melbourne, I presume, to do it?
Yeah, training was absolutely fantastic. The reason I think it was so good, guys like Jono Wild and the other guy, Matt Thorpe.
Matt Thorpe, yep.
They sort of, that sort of got to me, how those guys operate their business and their perspective about it. And it sort of resonated with how I am a little bit. And I knew then I was making the right decision. All the IT stuff was fantastic. It was so smooth. So my franchisor over in WA had me doing training 2 weeks before the actual training over in Melbourne. So I sort of had a really good grounding of where I needed to be. And it was the best thing that happened. I trained here before I went to Melbourne. So I hit the ground running and it was quite a great transition.
And that's with Russell and Greta helping you out there.
Yeah.
But was it just going out for the franchisee to do the work, or what was it about?
Yeah, well, it was, I went out on a day with a guy called Simon Tulip, who I bought a split off. He made me feel very comfortable in the decision I was inevitably going to make. And then obviously after that, Greta and Russell were hands-on to make that split happen. And there was another opportunity, obviously, with Cannington coming up with Gordon, who was retiring. So I thought, well, why get one, let's get two and really have a good crack at it. So, yeah, Greta and Russell just put all that in play and made it smooth and quick. And obviously the support over in Melbourne was just phenomenal. So it was just so easy transition.
Oh, it's great to hear. And for you coming into it, Chris, because, doing a franchise from being an employee, there would have been a lot of questions. What were the sort of main questions you had or you were thinking about before coming into it or doing it?
Mate, it was funny. It was more how it all works, what it's all about. Main question was how to consolidate runs for efficiency. I knew how to cut lawns, fertilize lawns and landscape and do all that. So I was sort of lucky coming from my background into this. What I've found is the work was better because I didn't have to go out there and get the work a lot of the time because of the Jim's brand. It came to me and, you feel obligated to uphold the franchise values and doing the work right. So it wasn't overly a lot of questions. It was more how to make my business work well under that banner.
But how have you been doing that from a route efficiency, or how have you been going with 2 months in terms of structuring your business? How have you been doing it?
Well, I've been pretty busy. So obviously with the gym's apps and calendars, that's obviously a massive help, knowing when to mow people's lawns and, sending just reminders and things like that. So that way it's been pretty good, mate. So
yeah, because I won't say what your hourly rate is, but I saw your hourly rate in the email to Jim and I was quite impressed with that. So you're happy with how that's been going?
Yeah, very happy, man. So no, but I always say that let's be cheeky. You get what you pay for. So I like to think my quality of work's pretty good, efficient, and I haven't had too many. Well, I don't think
you've had zero complaints
at the moment. So fingers crossed that stays there, mate. But you never know. You could one day slip up. But it's all about the recovery in life. You know that.
Well, you've had zero complaints. You've had perfect 5-star with 43 ratings already, just over 2 months. Well, just under 2 months actually. So it's pretty good. Pretty good as well. You've had 43 ratings on you, all 5 stars.
Oh, cool.
Not one complaint.
Oh, it's beyond.
No, what we do have a price rating in our system, and it says, even though you said in your email what you earn, it actually says your price rating's low.
Yeah, well, that's
according according to us on the system, you're too cheap. So maybe it's up your rates.
Come and give me more business. I'm too cheap. That's good.
Up your rates. Up your rates. But
yeah. But the flow of work itself has been.
What are the challenges be for you then? Maybe doing it.
The challenges is at the moment fitting everything into one day, which I don't think is no challenges there. It's only a good thing. But I enjoy hard work and stuff. So, mate, the challenges, and I'm very lucky with the wife I have to be able to do my accounts and stuff like that. So that's a challenge on its own, probably from other franchisees that they have to do both, where I'm very lucky my wife's hands-on and be able to do that. I haven't had any challenges around gear yet. I get my gear from Guildford Mowers, and he's a good friend of mine, and he looks after me if I've got any problems with it and stuff like that. I've known him for 20-odd years. Challenges is Perth traffic sometimes with the trailer, but, mate, I think that's a common thing with franchisees, just getting used to getting that trailer going and stuff like that. So I haven't really had one yet. Obviously, the back of your mind, your pricing can be, you're just not sure if it's right for the customer, right for you. So, like you're saying with their system saying I'm too low of prices, well, I'm sort of trying to find that level of where it's right, and maybe I can go a little bit more, but, sometimes the jobs don't warrant that. So, the great thing about the training and what I gathered, it's pricing the job of what it's worth. And if it takes you, 25 minutes or 45 minutes, it is what it is. So.
And quoting, because quoting is generally the biggest challenge for most new franchisees when they start. How have you tackled quoting? Like, do you have like a strategy around it, or how do you sort of do your quotes?
Where I'll touch back on now what we spoke about before when I went out with Simon and did the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Before I actually went to training, I sort of get a gauge. I look at the lawn. I go, that's the size. This is what Simon's quoted. And then I've sort of gone to the point of going, well, all right, let's go maybe up $5 or $10, because if I get this job, I'm not going to put the price up for a year, but I've covered the price increases already. So I've sort of gone that. So a lawn, a certain size, this is X amount. If it's a front and back, it's a little bit more. And I sort of gather it on time and size. When it comes to my landscaping stuff, it's really done per job, limestoning and stuff like that, planting a certain price. So that side of things is the easy part, the landscaping part, but the lawn part is a bit, because there is competitors out there.
Yeah.
The lawn part is selling yourself as a service, knowing deep down that I'm going to do a better job than everyone else, and then pricing it. So I don't really discuss price with a customer until I get to actually know them for a minute. Sometimes I've got to a point, and this is not big noting myself because the camera's, I've got a big head as it is, so the camera's going to get out a bit. I talk to my customer for a good minute, and so I just get to know them, because obviously inevitably we're going to work together to actually get the result. So sometimes I like to get to know them, and we might not gel, and then it might not be worth doing the job. I'll put you on to someone else. But, most of the time, if you get to know someone, they say, when can you start, before you actually price? And, from there, they message you after the job, if they're not there sometimes, or, and say, great job, thanks so much. And that just gives you a bit of a buzz, doesn't it? So, but I've been in customer service and management for 25 years. So all of this was sort of a little bit easier for me to understand, so.
And how big's your business currently, Chris, in terms of clients?
I've written this down because I thought you'd ask that. So I started with 60. I bought a split from Simon of 50, and I had a few remaining for Cannington. And from there, I've grown to about 97 regulars.
Yes, already.
And on the books, I've got about 162 that I've serviced. So let's say out of that 162, they've got all my details. So when they need something, they generally call me, gutters or landscape or planting and stuff like that. So yeah, reasonable start, I would have thought. See, but again, I don't know, let's be honest, I don't know what we should or shouldn't be doing. I'm just going off what I do. So
now it's a pretty big business. So is what's your plan? Are you going to want to keep growing, or are you happy doing with your lifestyle and what you're doing now at that level, or what do you want to do?
This is a question that actually Greta and Russell asked me a lot, of what to do. And coming from a management background, and you sort of, I've ran big teams of guys. I'm still throwing that around in my head when I'm pushing the mower, Joe. What to do? You'd like to see in the peak, because I've never been through a summer and that sort of thing where the grass is growing berserk, and it might have to be trying to get someone 2-3 days a week just to come and cover some of the runs, depending on how big some of the landscaping jobs I'm doing at the moment. You never say never. How big can you go? Inch Group, you can go really big because the brand and the work that you get is all there for you. You just uphold the quality that Jim's wants to produce, and mate, it's how big can you get?
It depends what you want to do, I guess, because Matt and John, you mentioned before, are two different. So Matt Thorpe's got an offsider. He uses occasion, but he's predominantly a sole operator. If he wanted to be busier, he couldn't do it. Whereas John Wild's got like a factory and got like 10 staff and all those sorts of things. And both of them, have their benefits and want to do what they want to do. So, but you've got a massive business already for someone, 97 regs, after 2 months is quite impressive.
Yeah, they say the guys that I've been out with, Colin and Simon, if you can get to 125 regs, you're going to have your bottom hanging out. So that's my goal. I'd like to get there. I reckon I could get there in the next, couple of months, I reckon. And then from there, you reassess and you look over your business and where do you go?
Well, you can do splits as well. Like you can always do that if you want. And then, you can condense your run. There's a whole bunch of different options for you. You can scale your team or you can just stay doing what you're doing and away you go. Yeah,
I think if I was to do a split, I don't think I'd be doing justice to the customers that I've just started with. I think I'm very, without your customers, you haven't got a business. So, I'm still building good relationships with the, 50 to 60 that I managed to buy and get hold of. So, mate, I'm big on making sure that those guys get looked after until they've had enough of me pretty much. Hopefully they ever do. But yeah, that's generally how I think about it.
In WA, obviously, you're saying a bit of landscaping you're doing. So what type of landscaping jobs?
Yeah, I've done full garden fit outs. I do a lot of limestoning, which I've done obviously before. I'm doing a job at the moment for a lady that's unfortunately lost her husband and they were halfway through something. So, that's a bit of satisfaction. I enjoy doing that sort of stuff, being able to get hold of that. I've had to pass on a real big landscaping job that I got to a subby in High Wycombe. That was excavators and all that sort of stuff. So, in time, when you build your business, that is something I'll be able to obviously get into and have more time to do. But a lot of landscaping, a lot of planting. I've just got another one in Como where the people are going away for 3 weeks and they expect it's beautiful when they get back. So I picked up that one last night, which is pretty exciting because it's going to look really good. I've generated a lot of AI photos of what we can make it look like.
Cool.
So I got that from your training.
So that's great. I want to clip this up. Yeah. So we're going to play this in the training. So just tell the process of what you've done for that customer.
So I went to the customer and took photos of their areas they wanted done. And I can send you these photos if you like.
Please do. Yeah.
And I have some of the plants I've got on my property. So some of the hedging that I have. So I took photos of that, uploaded it onto the Chat GDP, typed in 30-metre lily-pilly hedging across the front of the fence, plus mulching on the right, plus a ground cover, and chucked it all in, and it came up after a few goes, perfect. Sent that to the client with a nice letter of scope of works and what we do. And basically he got back to me, and this is honest to God, he got back to me in 5 minutes, said, let's do this. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'll send them over to you. They look really good. Obviously, it's copied off what I've got at my place, which was even more handier. And yeah, he's pumped. They actually go away. They're from a Christian background. They're going away to fix a village over in Somalia, I think it is. So yeah, that's just getting to know your customer as well. I know all what's going on, and that probably helps get the work, I suppose.
And did you use AI to help you with the scope of works, or was it just the...
Yep, everything. Yeah, absolutely everything. Obviously, you've got to read it carefully because sometimes it's not there, but you just keep making the changes, and it came out more professional what I could do.
That's great. So we're going to send that through to me. I'm going to show it in training.
Yeah,
I love hearing this. This is great. This is great.
Yeah.
I think that's something where hopefully more franchisees can use it more and more and help them win some more jobs because customers can see visually what you want to do as opposed to just telling them. So it's great to hear, Chris. Thanks for telling me that. I was going to say as well, how are you enjoying the business?
Love it. Your old saying, you should have done it 10 years ago, isn't it? You should have done it 10 years ago. That's what I'd say, but I'm saying it.
What do you think stopped you? Was it just you didn't know about it, or you was?
I'd say I got comfortable what I was doing. I had a great group of guys, and I was supporting them and watching them grow. And it sort of got to a point where I went, "Oh, but your time, mate. Come on, what are you doing?" So, and that's what it was.
Almost putting others before yourself. Sometimes.
Yeah, it was a lot of that. But that's okay. A couple of the guys that have left what I was doing has gone to be pretty successful, and I get a kick out of that.
That's great. And do you have a bit more free time now than what you did before, or Is it just
Yeah, great. I pick the kids up from, if I have to pick one of the kids up from school, the other two drive, so I'm laughing there. Then I do, and you know what? If I can't get to finish the day before I actually pick up from school, because of the relationship with the customer, quick message, look, I'll get to you tomorrow. I'm so sorry. 10 times out of 10 there, yep, no worries. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be home, or no, I won't be home. I'll leave the gate unlocked.
perfect? So you mentioned before, obviously building rapport is really important to your business, even if to see if they're a good fit or not. Do you do anything else? Like you mentioned sending text messages, or do you send like a text message the night before, or how do you then communicate with your clients?
So I'll have every single one of them saved in my phone number. Night before, using the Jim's Job app, you can text them. I text them just generic now because they actually know who I am. Before, the first one was just another introduction, looking forward. And now it's just, look, hey, it's Chris from Jim's, letting you know I'll be at your house tomorrow for your regular service, sing out if there's any problems. And then from there, a lot of the time, if I go there and there's a hedge that needs to be cleaned up, I'll take a photo. I've got their number, bang it. Hey, this is what it needs to be done. Let us know. This is what it's going to cost. I can do it next service, or your spraying and stuff like that. And generally, the build on from that makes your weeks pretty full and busy. So
I think it's a great little, like it sounds obvious to people, but I can tell you now from dealing with tradies and from what I hear from other people as well, like it's not so common just doing the basic communication courtesy the night before we're going to come, and people think it sounds obvious, but it's just the little thing that matters so much.
Yeah, 100%. That's what it is. Like I said, without your customers and communicating with them, you haven't got a business.
And with your equipment philosophy, like what equipment are you using? So I always ask everyone about equipment. So what equipment do you use? What brands did you go with, or what was your thinking?
I'm full Bush Ranger, right on. I had a fair bit of stuff which was Bush Ranger before. So I had whippersnippers. I did spoil myself and buy another mower because I thought, why not? And obviously with Craig, of what he does for us at Guildford, he's fantastic. So all Bush Ranger, but saying that, Bush Ranger I think they're going to start bringing some electric stuff.
Okay.
One thing I've noticed with pulling the cords to get the mowers started, the old shoulder gets a little bit short sore sometimes. So yeah, I was actually saying to the wife last night, I think I might have to look at electric the next.
Don't be afraid to try it. Don't be afraid to try it.
Yeah.
Go the hybrid mix. Yeah.
Yeah, and but these are things you think of. You go, well, is my next trailer, should I maybe look to go a full maybe electric one? So give people two options to go. Do you want green, or do you want those are the things I think of as well. There's something for people to think of. I'm happy to share that, to give those green options. And it is going that way, and you do. We all understand where everything's at.
The last couple of years, Chris, over here, we've had, especially in the inner city sort of areas, customers will ask for it, or our franchisees who have full electric.
Yeah.
They are not get as many noise complaints. And I've definitely noticed from us anyway with the social stuff, the noise complaints have definitely died down over the last 3 years. Whereas before there was noise complaints every day from someone starting up, the line trimmer or whatever it is in the morning and at 7 a.m. But now it's sort of going down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm swaying that way, and I thought I'd never say it because you would all like petrol, and you all like a bit of noise. But yeah, I think it's something I will do.
Yeah, I think a lot of the guys I talked to now, like there's always just a bit of a hybrid mix. So some of them will have a blower, which is electric, or they'll do the line trim, which is electric. They'll still keep the petrol mower or some other petrol things, because that's what it's like. But they have a couple of bits of battery gear, and they're sort of slowly doing it. And the battery gear, from what I can tell anyway, is slowly getting better and better, and you get a bit more runtime. But yes, having a green advantage and a green edge from your marketing perspective, I think it's a massive point of difference, because I don't think it's sort of something that's being pushed enough sometimes. And I think franchisees who do it have a massive advantage.
Yeah, I tend to. That's how I've thought. I tend to agree there, mate. I think I'll do it. I think I will.
Now, your lawns in WA are a bit different. I used to live in WA when I was younger, and the lawns there are completely different to the types we have over, obviously, in New South Wales and Victoria. So, you have a cylinder mower set up, or what do you?
I've got a beautiful cylinder mower. I didn't go the Mowmaster. I was lucky enough where I used to play cricket. They were selling their cylinder that.
Oh, right.
They had it fully redone, and I just thought, oh, well, you're going to sell it, I'll have it. And Craig did it up for me, new blades and just a heavier barrel at the back, because some of the lawns I wanted to get a little bit flatter. So I put a heavier roller in the back, and I use that for my South Perth stuff and a couple of Vic Park. I had a customer call last week after I did it, and he was outside putting on it, which was pretty cool. I said, I'm due to you next month. And I'll come at this time, and we'll have a putt when it's all done. So I've actually got, because the boys at our house play golf around our house, they've actually got a cup that you putt into, and I'm going to give it to him as a present. So
that's cool.
It'll be pretty cool.
And what's the sort of maintenance program to keep those lawns the way it is? So a lot of the Vic and New South Wales guys who listen to this, it's a different setup. So what sort of treatments or what sort of fertilizers or what sort of intervals to keep it looking like the way you guys do it?
Yeah, as it is where we are at the moment, coming into August, we still do a weed broadleaf spray in the lawn. You know, we use, I think it's Greenway turf solution. So yeah, we're coming into that. It's been a little bit wet the last 2 weeks, so I would have liked to have started 2 weeks ago, but yeah, we've been pretty swamped with inconsistent weather at the moment, so we'll start that again to get that right for the growing season, and then obviously probably February we do the next spray that, you know, to get all the weeds off before the actual, you know, winter comes. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing.
You know, I love it's one thing we miss about WA is the coastline's one of them, but yeah, just the lawns, it's completely different to over here and what we have. And you're right, it's nice and flat. You can make a putting green in your backyard or dry a pitch out and play some cricket. So
yeah, I've got a customer that wants that has they request a mow and a cricket pitch in the.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I use it. I do a general ride on mow, and then I do the cricket pitch and, you know, mark the lines because obviously you played cricket, so you know.
Do you get a roller out or anything, or you go that far?
I could have got the heavier cylinder. I got the heavier barrel put in it, so yeah, it just does two things at once. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, please do a video or photo of something with bowling on that. That'd be pretty.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're a good family. They're a good family. They're South Perth Cricket Club is one of the biggest in our area's junior cricket club. Yeah. So they're a part of that. So yeah, I'll well and truly get them.
That'd be cool, eh? The new service we could probably put on the booking form, cricket pitch or something like that, and see if people want that. I mean, why not? WA, you'd be perfect for it. Now, is there anything else, Chris? I'm sort of running out of questions. You've said so much great information. I don't know what more I can pull out of you. Is there anything else that you've got written down on your notes that I haven't asked you that you thought I might have asked you?
No, I just wrote those clients down and gave the 5-star rating to Jono and Matt. You can put that on their little thing. You'd like that. And mate, no, it's been good. It's been fun. I'm going to go and what's the time now? 9:22. So I've got 12 to do today. So hopefully knock those over today. It's 9:30 here. So
one question I will ask you, Chris.
Another tap today.
Dealing with heat, a lot of blokes forget to drink an egg. So do you have sort of a go-to lunch, or how do you sort of keep yourself hydrated?
Good bakery.
A good bakery.
Good bakery and a good bottle of water, mate. No, mate, my former life, I was a Boilermaker by trade when I was 15. So
wow.
I worked at Westrack Caterpillar building, the machines and stuff like that when I was 15. So, mate, when you've got your overalls on and you're welding your 3,000 degree arc, mate, it isn't hot here. It isn't hot at all.
Well, Chris, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. I can hear and see why you do very well with your clients. Obviously, very personable, and it's great to see you doing so well after 2 months. 97 regs after that long of time is pretty remarkable, and you've got a perfect 5-star rating as well, and obviously your customers love you. So thanks for jumping on, Chris. We do really appreciate it, and be looking forward to seeing how you progress your business. I'm sure you're going to be flying whichever way you decide to go.
Beautiful. Thanks, Joel. And to anyone who's brave enough to sit through this, highly recommend the brand, highly recommend what they do. I can't. There has been not one flaw so far.
You're a good man, Chris. Hopefully we'll see you. Thanks,
there, brother.
All right. Thank you for listening to the episode of the More Than Just Mowing podcast by Jim's Mowing. If you do need help with your local gardening expert, please give us a call on 131 546 for Australia, 0800 454 654 for New Zealand, or head to jimsmowing.com.au or jimsmowing.co.nz. If you liked what you heard, please make sure you leave us a review as well, wherever you consume your podcast. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.